Welcome to Bacon's What?
What?
Huh? Welcome to Bacon's my podcast.
You did a whole thing, so I just
did like a blah, 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 blah.
Right.
Welcome to Bacon's my podcast, where we are brought to you by who?
Well, a number of things.
A number of
people.
A plethora.
We have drinkwhilebils.com. We have grewyourassoff.com. And we have poddex.com. Those are three of the many things that tantalize our taste buds and brain balls.
Indeed.
And speaking of balls,
manscaped.com. So if you go to those first three websites, if you go to Drink Wild Bills.
You know what? Let's make it easy. Go to baconismypodcast.com. Jump over to the sponsor page, and you can find all these plus discount codes for every single one of them.
Right.
Much like the discount code for Manscaped, which is Bacon Pod.
Well, the other one for the other three is bacon.
Right.
Just straight up bacon.
Right.
But manscaped.com is Bacon Pod. We got to switch it up just a tiny bit.
Shave your balls.
Just a tiny bit.
Shave your balls.
So when you go to manscaped.com, you're taking things off, but we put
like
things
the hair
on.
on your nuts.
Right. But we put things on, and that thing would be...
You know what? 20%
pod
of your beanbag is covered in hair.
But you could take that 20% off.
Get that 20% off by using Bacon Pod to get 20% off the order
and free shipping.
And free shipping of things like the Weed Whacker.
Yeah, where it'll clean out your nose hairs.
Get 20% of those nose hairs that are hanging outside of the nose. You know those.
You can probably get more if you can get more than 20% as long as you just dedicate a couple minutes.
Yeah. If you don't wear
look in the mirror.
If you don't wear a mustache, you certainly don't want to look like you kind of have one.
Yeah.
And if you do wear a mustache, you don't want it to connect to the inside of your nose.
Because your boogers will stay there.
It's gross.
Yeah, it's
gross
super
looking.
gross. Super gross.
Also gross, hairy ball beanbag.
Yeah.
Hairy ball beanbag.
Just use your lawnmower.
Yeah, de-hair that ball beanbag.
Yeah, indeed. So, Jimsy.
Yeah.
You have a story you have to tell.
I do.
It's a cliffhanger.
It was a cliffhanger
from the last intro. Welcome to Bacon's My Podcast. We've got Lindsey Paranormal coming up soon. We'll get more into her, but Jim, you got a story.
Yeah, so I had mentioned, you had mentioned last time,
yes.
You gave your story, which was...
About what?
You don't remember what your story was about?
Nope.
All right. It was about being recognized.
Oh, yes. So I was recognized at a bar because they asked me, "Why do you have a man bag?" And I said, "Because I have Manscaped wipes in there." And they said, "Well, that's awesome. Why do you have ball wipes in there?" And I was like, "Well, because I have balls and I want to keep them clean."
Bacon is my podcast. Bacon is my Bacon is my podcast. Bacon is my
On the way into Allegiant Stadium to see the show in Vegas that I went to, they had a list of bags, sizes and bags that you could not bring in, right? And I have a very small...
Oh, you got a small bag.
Sling bag, right? In my sling bag, I have a phone charger, if I need that. I have some ball wipes, if I need that. I have a cable for my phone charger, and I usually put my phone in my wallet. That's it. As well as a bunch of stickers that say, "What's your bacon?"
Indeed.
A lot of "What's your bacon" stickers.
Yeah, I have those too.
So, I'm on my way in, and we're standing in this crazy line because Allegiant Stadium, I will tell you, it's a brand new stadium in Vegas, and their organization sucks ass. Fuck that place. So, we wait in this massive humanity to get to the front of the line. We get to the front of the line. We finally get there. They go, "You can't bring your bag in." And I go, "Okay, can I check it somewhere?" And they said, "Sure. Across the street. You got to leave the line, go all the way across the street and find the bag check area to check your bag. Now,
Pardon?
this is at 3:30. There are thousands of people in line. Joan Jett starts at 4:30. And we have to be in at a certain time so that
Otherwise,
we
yeah.
have the opportunity to get up on the stage to watch from side stage. Right? Because if we are too late, then that opportunity is gone. Now, it's cool. We don't have to watch from side stage. But I got my brother with me, and I really want to be able to do that for him. I think it would be a
Sure.
cool thing. So I'm like, shit. So I leave the line, leave the place, go across the street to go check my bag. The line for checking your bag is as long as the line to get into the venue. And I'm like, if I stand in this line, I'm not getting into the venue until after Joan starts. We're not getting on stage. We're not doing any of this. So in my brain, I'm like, okay, I have to make a decision now. Is it more important for me to be able to get my brother on stage to watch this show and have that experience than it is to keep this bag? And it is.
Yeah.
It is more important. You can always buy another bag, like,
Yeah.
it sucks. I bought an airbag. They're expensive. AER. Not a sponsor, but great bags. So I'm like, shit. This sucks. So I'm putting everything in my pockets. So my pockets are now gigantic because I have a phone charger and a phone and stickers and my wallet and cables and whatever was in that bag.
All the things.
Whatever was in that bag. And I'm walking back, and my brother's waiting for me, and he was like, what happened? And I was like, this ain't gonna happen. We gotta figure something out. And I literally go, okay, maybe we can hide it somewhere. And my brother goes, okay, let's go over by the parking lot. We go over by the parking lot, and there's little bushes. And he takes it, and he slides it under this, like, fern-looking bush, and you could totally see it. You can totally see the bag, and I'm like, this thing's getting stolen. And he's like, it's either getting stolen or someone's going to call in a bomb threat because they just saw us place a bag next to the arena and then walk away from it. I was like, all right, well, we're taking both of those chances. So I'm like resigned to the fact that, like, okay, I've lost my bag. That sucks. It's over $100 bag. I don't have money. This sucks. I have to get back in line to get into the venue now, which also sucks. I now have giantly full pockets of just bullshit that I wish I didn't bring with me. So that also sucks. So we go through security, get in, and it's like, okay, cool, whatever. We have floor seats, so we go into the venue, go to the 50-yard line, walk down the steps, walk to the lady to let us on the floor, and she goes, oh, you need a wristband to get on the floor. And I go, yeah, I figured you would give that to me because you work here. And she was like, no, you have to go to the wristband area. And I was like, oh, where is that? And she goes, oh, you have to go outside the stadium and go around the side of the building, and there's a line. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And now it's 3:45. So we have to leave the venue again after we already stood in line to get in. We had to leave the venue, go outside of the venue, walk outside. There's a line of like 500 people that have floor seats. We go to the back of this line, and we're standing there. It's now 4 o'clock. It is then 4:15. It is then 4:25. It is then 4:30, and I start to hear Joan Jett playing. And I'm like, we ain't getting on the stage. This sucks. I'm texting my buddy Beef. Shout out Beef. Who is
The best roadie ever, by
amazing. And he's waiting for us so that he can bring
the way.
us
The greatest roadie ever.
greatest roadie ever. Yes.
Greatest _ roadie _
Absolutely.
ever.
Find him, shout him out. Beef. You're my man. So he's waiting for us and waiting for, like, he's got a group of people that he's going to bring up on stage, and we're among that group. So if we're late, the group's got to go.
That's it.
So we're waiting in this line outside, and, like, people in the line are starting to complain because it's literally, there's 2 lines. Now, they could have done a lot of things. They could have had a line for people with bags and a line for people without bags.
Right.
They could have had a line for people with they could have had signs that let you know where to go. Allegiant Stadium, you suck. You absolutely suck. You are the shits. You are the drizzling shits. The organization there is awful. My brother, while we were in line, went online and applied for a job running fucking that part of Allegiant Stadium. He was like, this is so bad that I'm going to apply for a job here and fix this shit. So we finally get in. After waiting in that long-ass line, there's 5 people giving out bracelets to 500 people in line. The opener band is already done, so everybody missed them. Joan is like 2 songs in. Thankfully, she has a long intro. Right, so she's 2 songs in. We get there. I'm texting Beef. He's waiting. We get there just in time. He brings us up on stage. We get on the side stage and we're there. Right, so aside from all that, like my bag's fucking hidden under a bush. We fucking waited to get in line. We had to go to another line. We were in and out, in and out. We see the show. The show's amazing. Right behind us, sitting at the show, is an entire row of Canadians who think I'm in Imagine Dragons.
Oh, cool. Well, that's
so
good.
I continuously have the people asking me to take photos with them, and I don't know why. But every time someone takes a photo with me, I take a photo and I hand them a sticker that says, "What's your bacon?" And I give my brother stickers that say, "What's your bacon?" And he's sticking them on every seat and he's putting them everywhere. Right? And then they're like, What's your bacon? And I was like, oh, that's my podcast.
Radioactive!
And finally they were like, you're playing here tomorrow night, right? And I was like, no, I'm not. And they were like, oh, we thought you were in Imagine Dragons. And I was like, that explains why you wanted photos with me. And they were like, oh, you're not in Imagine Dragons? It's like, not even a little. I'm not
like
even,
I would.
Right, yeah.
I would.
I'm happy to join Imagine Dragons if that's what they want. Yeah. But they haven't approached me as of yet. So I'm not in Imagine Dragons. And so I started telling them about the podcast, and they were very interested in the podcast. And they were like, we're going to listen to the podcast, and we're going to call in, and we're going to find you and text you, and we're going to send in messages for the podcast. So I'm waiting.
We're waiting.
We're waiting for my Canucks that were right behind me at the concert to call in, but there are photos of them on my Instagram and on the Bacon is My Podcast Instagram. Check it out.
Indeed.
And they're there.
Listen.
And then
it was a great story.
Well, end of the story. We get out of the concert at like 11 something. We walk out. We walk over to the bush, and my bag is there.
Great success. I would have made them wait.
Success.
I would have made them wait to see if that bag was still there. Yeah. So, Lindsey Paranormal. Hanging out with us.
Yeah.
Talking paranormal stuff.
Paranormal
having
things.
a good time.
Yeah. Do it.
Now.
Let's do it. Now.
Son of a bitch.
Now. Bring us in with that sweet, sweet baritone.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Bacon is My Podcast.
Hot.
No. I'm not going to try and match what you did. You did on the 7 questions on StrangerhoodTV.com.
I was straight ripping you off. So.
The last one I did was pretty good, but you threw me off my game. Welcome, everybody, to Bacon is My Podcast, where today...
Oh, we have a guest. We have 2 guests. We just had a dog in front.
There was a dog here.
Sorry. You just threw me off everything.
We have Lindsey Paranormal and her pup. What's the pup's name?
Kiki.
Kiki.
She's a rescue.
Paranormal and Kiki. That's awesome. So
we are dog people.
We're dog people, so that completely throws us off everything as soon as we see a cute pup.
It makes it so much better. Yeah, she has to be like on my lap at all times, or else she has a panic attack. She's a rescue, so she's a little crazy, like me.
That's awesome. Very cool.
Yeah.
How long have you had her?
Oh, a while. I don't know. I got her when she's 4. She's probably like 12 now.
Oh wow. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, yeah, we have Lindsey Paranormal.
Yeah,
who,
welcome, Lindsey and Kiki.
Is a on Instagram, who is on YouTube, who does paranormal things. If you didn't guess by her name,
yes, Paraflix. If you want to go check out her show, Third Eye Paranormal.
Yes. It's like Netflix, but $3 and all paranormal shit.
Yes,
Right.
It's actually worth getting. They have movies,
cool.
everything.
Yeah, I still haven't jumped in yet. We were talking with them for a little bit, and I don't know what happened. But we were talking with them a little bit about maybe doing something together.
Doing a thing.
But we're really fortunate enough to we had Patty on, we've had you on, so so far it's worked out.
Yeah,
but we need to get on it. So, Lindsey, how are you?
I'm doing really good. How are you guys?
We're
awesome.
okay. We're excited to have you on.
I love your
happy
hat.
freaking Halloween.
Thanks.
I love your
Yes.
hat.
Thank
It's
you.
Halloween right now when this episode drops.
Mm-hmm.
Although it's not Halloween right now.
Right.
I don't have
I still want to
thing.
talk about this hat. I still want to talk.
Yeah,
about
yeah.
this hat.
Let's talk hats.
Where did we get this? And what is it? What's it say? I can't read.
So
it.
this one says moon child, around the side. I have another one with just moon faces around it. I come from it's a local store here in Vegas, but they have it online. It's called Blasphemy Boutique. They have the coolest stuff ever. I love that store.
Oh, nice. I wish I would have known that when I was there. I would have gone.
Yeah.
Next time.
Yeah, next time for sure.
So what's cool is I found out through our 7 questions that she, despite living in Las Vegas right now, is a fellow Long Islander.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. I had no idea.
Mm-hmm.
So how much I know you like hockey. How much does it suck to be an Islander fan?
I'm a Rangers fan.
Oh, well, then you don't have a problem.
Yeah. I didn't jump on the Vegas Golden Knights bandwagon either. I'm sticking true to my roots, and I'm still a Rangers fan.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, I know that the Vegas had they were an expansion team and they shouldn't have ice.
Well, let's be real.
But they won.
Vegas shouldn't have a hockey team, but still,
Well,
they
Vegas.
do, and they won.
And they won. That's pretty
how
awesome.
is that? How would it feel to be the team that lost to the Vegas team? You're like, oh, it's 100 degrees there all the time.
Oh, cool. There's your ice.
Yeah, we actually have really good ice rinks here, though. Ever since they made the new team, they built multiple new ice rinks, which is great for me because before they didn't really have hockey in general. That was Kiki. That wasn't me.
Kiki's making moves. Kiki's making moves.
She did. She knocked over the whole Ouija board. She was not today, Satan. That's what she just said.
You can't knock over a Ouija board. It's bad, isn't it?
Well,
it's bad, isn't it?
I never heard of that. Is that a superstitious thing? I don't know.
He just made that up.
Yeah.
Probably. I know.
He just didn't like it happening. Okay.
Right. It
Yeah,
just
no,
seems like it would be a weird thing.
It's a bad thing. I think it's.
I can't see it being good. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's probably not a positive.
Yeah.
I knocked over a Ouija board. Cool, nice move. That's not.
So obviously you're in your room and you've got a whole bunch of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that you do on your YouTube page is actually go through some of the haunted items that you own.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what is what's the
Your piece de resistance.
the piece that you own that you're like, I have this.
I have. Well, this is my most common one. I post on TikTok and stuff all the time. This is my haunted doll that I
I've
acquired
seen
a
her.
couple of years ago. Yeah. She is very mischievous, but I got her online and I was super skeptical about it. I'm a believer, but I'm also skeptical and I want to make sure it's paranormal. But yeah, ever since I got her, the day I got her, stuff started happening in my house. So this is my main haunted piece. But this room is full of haunted items.
So, when you get a whole bunch of haunted items, you throw them all. You got the Zach Bagans Museum, and he always has he has his episodes that he shuts down for the night, and they hang out and they mess around with a couple of the items, and shit just happens all over the place.
Mhm.
You have a house, you have all the things in one room. Does it stay contained to the room, or does
No.
it just
No, I would want it to stay contained to this room. That's kind of why I put everything in this room. But I have stuff happen in my house all the time. The other night, my bathroom sink turned itself on in the middle of the night, which was a little spooky. I love haunted stuff. I just don't like when it happens in my house.
Right. Yeah, you filled the room with haunted items.
I know it's like a love-hate thing. Like I want to have
Yeah.
them. I just wish it wouldn't like affect my house, but I guess I can't have both.
Doesn't
Yeah.
does so is there anything you can do to contain things to one room? You know, like you watch. So people
Like you
people
can
that
put,
watch
like, a
this,
nail, like
well,
a-
people that watch this are gonna like that don't get into the supernatural thing, but kind of like watch shows that have to do with supernatural stuff, like the show Supernatural. Can you put salt around the bottom of the door and keep things from coming out and crossing the boundaries? Is there things that you can do, or is it like, yo, there's shit in the house and it's going to be in the house, it's going to do it at once?
Yeah, I mean, you can try. Like I've tried, but I think it only lasts so long. Like I always try to set my intention. Like I talk out loud to the ghosts in my house all the time, like a crazy person. But
no, that's not a crazy person.
not
That's
crazy.
what you got to do.
Yeah.
That's what you
Yeah,
have to do.
whatever works. But yeah, I'm a witch, so I do like a lot of stuff with like herbs or flowers or like you said, salt. But the problem with the salt is I was gonna put it on the ground around the room, but then I was like, my Kiki's gonna eat it. So that was
Right,
kind
yeah,
of a
yeah.
deterrent.
That
Yeah.
makes sense. Yeah.
Because I do have like the black salt. I have like black water, which is like almost like a protector water. Like you can put it around your house. Like I would put it around the outside, but I'm not going to put it on my carpet because then that's going to be black. So I just ran into some trouble trying to contain things to this room, I guess.
One thing, so you like to be in these haunted locations, and you like to be the one to sleep alone. Like I know that, like, on every show there's always that person that's like, okay, so and so, you're gonna be going to the basement alone, you're gonna be the one going to the attic alone and stuff like that. Here you are, you have your own show, and you're like, oh no, I want to be that person.
Yeah, yeah, that's my thing.
What why? Fucking why? Like, that's like crazy. That's awesome. And but like, why are you that person?
It's funny because I ask myself that sometimes. I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, I just do it, and sometimes I don't really like think about what I'm doing. And when I sit and reflect, I think it's like a couple different reasons. I think one, like, I want to have that experience, to almost like prove to myself that it's real. Like I believe in all this stuff, but over time, like I have to keep proving it to myself, and I don't know what that is or why I feel that way. Yeah, because I've had so many experiences. Like I know something paranormal is happening. I don't know what it is or why exactly, or what the afterlife even is. But I just always like have to have that experience to keep proving it to myself. Almost, I don't even want to like convince other people at this point. Like that's not my goal. I feel like people either believe it or they don't, and I feel like usually they don't believe it until they have their own personal experience, which I had very young. So yeah, I think I'm just proving it to myself, and kind of like that adrenaline rush at the same time could be part of it.
Right. Yeah. Now I read that. So you started seeing spirits at 7. Is
Yeah.
what I read. So was it like? Do you remember the first time or the first spirit, or was it something that you were just kind of like becoming aware of gradually, and that's your first kind of memory for it?
No, I have like a very like I can still remember it very clearly. It was around when I was 7. I think I did see things before then, but I don't really remember before I was 7 much.
Right.
But yeah, I remember really clearly when I was 7. It was right after my great grandma passed, and I was really close with her, but I feel like I didn't fully understand death yet, so I wasn't like sad about it. I just knew like she wasn't here. And I remember looking into my hallway one morning, and I saw like a woman walk into my sister's room, and I was just so confused because I knew my sister was sleeping, and in my head I knew that didn't look like my sister. So I went in there, checked, she was sleeping. So I went to my mom and I described to her exactly what I saw, what the person was wearing. And apparently I described the dress that my great grandma was buried in, which I was not aware of. It was a specific dress for that burial. So I had seen that. So I think I kind of freaked my mom out a little bit, but it didn't scare me because it was like, my grandma. It was weird to me. And then after that, I just wanted to see more because I was confused. Like, how did I see that? Who is that? How are they here? Because they're dead. And then I had all those questions in my head.
That's awesome.
That's interesting. How do you feel that, like, so saying that you're still like you're a believer, but you're also skeptical, right? And you want to and you want that proof, and you want to know. I think that's a personally, I enjoy talking to somebody and watching somebody that has a skeptical mindset to begin with while they're doing this, because I don't know, I can't get into talking to somebody that's got a hard line of no, and I also find it weird to talk to somebody that has a hard line of like everything's possible and real.
Yeah, yeah.
So I like the idea of somebody that's like, yeah, I'm open to everything, but here's where my skepticism comes in. How do you feel that has kind of like guided you and helped you to kind of like determine what things to pay attention to and what things to kind of cast aside, as you know, like in your proving things to yourself and you experiencing things, how has that helped you decide where to place things on the like this is something and this isn't line?
Yeah, I guess that's like a gray area, you know. That's why I use like equipment, because I'm very intuitive and I still see spirits, but sometimes I'm like, I need backup proof, which is like where the equipment comes in. Because like if I'm seeing something and then at the same time like a piece of equipment is going off, that's kind of hard to disprove. I'm like, okay,
right, yeah,
it's like kind of confirmation. So I like doing a bit of both. Because like the Ouija board, you know, like someone could just be moving it on their own, but when say I have a REM pod next to it and then that goes off at the same time, I'm like, hey, like something's going on here.
Yeah. So one thing that I'm like super into is like I'm a musician and I do recording and all that stuff. So gear is my like thing. And you know, we watched a few shows, and Katie Stafford is part of those shows, and he develops a lot of these things. But I've heard you say in the past, like if you want to get into it, get a recorder and just experience it yourself. But now that you're neck deep in all this stuff, what's your go-to piece of equipment? Like, what's the, like, is it a spirit box? Is it, you know, like Patty has these two little metal,
the dowsing rods. Those are
those are like, those are her thing. Like, what's your go-to piece of equipment?
I don't have like one go-to, and that's only because I feel like at different locations, the spirits react differently with different pieces of equipment. Like I bring everything with me, everywhere I go. I'll set it all up, and like at one place they'll tend to like the spirit box more, but then at a different place they're like they like the dowsing rods more, or they, you know, they kind of, I don't know if they don't know how to work certain things. Like I don't know how it is on the other side, so I can't speak for them, but certain pieces of equipment work better at certain places. So I always kind of try it all and see what they're using the most, and then I'll kind of stick with that for the location. But I love the dowsing rods, and I like starting with them because it kind of like warms up the room, I want to say, because it's like easy, kind of like yes and no questions. And then when you're holding them, you can like literally feel them move. It is really, I don't know if you've ever used them before, but
no.
It's trippy.
I've never used them, but I've been in the room with someone that was using them.
We want to do a Bacon is My podcast. We want to do an investigation. We want to do.
Well, we want to go with somebody that can lead us through something like that. But like,
so we're all in.
I'm happy to be the guy in the room.
Yeah.
I totally want to be that guy. Put me in a room by myself. Let me experience it. Let me figure it. You know, like I want to feel. I want to know. Well, I don't want to know. I want to feel. I want to see. I want to experience all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, at least you're open to it. I feel like that helps. Like when people are so closed off to it, they, you know, things tend to not happen as much. Like I brought along certain people, certain places, and you'll notice like things kind of will stop happening when certain people are around. It's strange.
That's weird. Like, yeah. See, like for me, so Jen, my wife, she's super sensitive. She's not quite, you know, she's definitely an empath. That's the best way to say it. And she could feel all that stuff. And like, you know, even things like we went to a venue to go see a show, and we found this back corner bar that nobody was in and had private bathrooms. You had like 1,000 people back there, but like nobody wanted to go back that way. And it was like, oh, cool, this is great. It's an open bar. It's great. You know, like, I don't have to wait for a drink and I don't have to wait for the bathroom. And she's like, well, it's haunted in here. And I was like, what are you talking about? She's like, no, it's haunted here. I was like, let's go ask the bartender. Sure enough, he's like, yeah, you know, there was an old, like, the original bartender. He loved this place and he fucks with everybody. He will, you know, he'll turn around, he'll open a beer, put it on the bar, and then go to mix a drink, turn around, the beer will be like on the other side.
That's
like,
wild. Where is this?
That was in Connecticut. That was Toad's place. So it was on not Harvard, but Yale campus. So like that she picked out. We went to a place, like a house with our family, and upstairs she's like, okay, listen, I want you to like walk into all of these rooms and tell me which room feels different. And I walked into the one room and I came out and I'm like, this one feels like a little off. She's like, yes, something's wrong with this room. Like there's something up. So like that's she's really turned me on to all of that, like being open about that kind of stuff. You said that you're not like psychic, but you do have those
yes and
abilities
no.
as well.
Yeah, I don't like call myself psychic because I don't know how to turn it on and off. But every psychic I go to always pick up. They're like, you are like gifted. Like there's certain times when I'll just know something about somebody, no idea how, it just like pops in my head, but I don't know how to control it. And I know, like, if I worked on it, they say that you can kind of, like, tame it more and control it and know how to turn it on and off more. For me, it just happens when it happens, and I'm like, that was weird. How did I know that?
Yeah. It's definitely something you got to work on. Are you going to – do you feel like you want to, or do you feel like the path that you've taken has made you open enough that the rest of the way is how you enjoy – taking it in?
Yeah, I mean, I'm good with how it is now. I mean, I don't know how much, like, because I see spirits a lot. Like, it's hard to sleep at night because I feel like they know I can see them and they come to me, like, often. So that gets a little, like, frustrating. That's when I wish I knew how to, like, completely turn it off so I could sleep at night, or not getting woken up in the middle of the night, like, screaming because I think someone broke in my house because I see a man in the corner kind of thing. So, but yeah, I mean, I would like to be more gifted. I mean, why not? I already have it halfway there. So
how does one, like, so you were saying like working on it, and you were saying working on it. How does that work? How do you work on something like that? If it's it's kind of an abstract, just being open to things thing, how do you take steps to kind of be better at something that's so kind of undefinable?
So it's interesting because the psychic medium that I work with, I film with her sometimes, she offers like classes for that, and I don't know what those classes involved. I haven't done them yet, but I know that like when I'm more into the paranormal stuff and like or meditating, like that stuff turns it on more for me in my head, I notice. But the more, like, if I'm going, like, haunted location to the next, like, it's, like, turned on. But, like, if I'm kind of, like, going about my normal routine, like, working a lot or not thinking about it, it tones down. So I don't know if maybe it's, like, concentrating it or like, practicing it more. I don't know what, like, classes like that involve. But they do offer them. So I would be curious to try it just to see what it would do.
Commercial break.
What's up, guys? Going to talk to you a little bit about our sponsors real quick. Just want to start off with grillyourassoff.com. If you are going into grilling season like we are, then you know that you always need a little rub. You always need a little sauce. You need something that's going to help your grilling get better. Help those chicken breasts, right? They get a little dry sometimes. You want to make sure you're saucing them up. You want to make sure those ribs have got a nice dry rub and a saucy rub. Go to grillyourassoff.com. Check it out. I've used their stuff. It's delicious. 10% off with the promo code BACON.
Another place you can go to get 10% off with that promo code, drinkwildbills.com. They've got delicious sodas. They've got all sorts of different flavors, from sarsaparilla to birch beer to you name it. You got your root beers, you got your cream sodas, you got your creamsicles.
Yeah. Sugar-free for you guys.
Sugar-free.
Watching the waistline.
Indeed. And also, they've got some great jerky stuff. They've got the brisket bites are A+.
Indeed.
A+. And if you go there, go to drinkroyalbills.com, use the promo code BACON, get 10% off.
One more place you can use that same promo code BACON is our oldest sponsor, Poddex. If you're a podcaster, if you are a budding interviewer, if you are just somebody that has a hard time talking to people every now and then, or want to do something fun with your friends, check out poddex.com. They have these decks of cards, 50 cards per deck, 50 questions. Check it out. Learn things about your friends, learn things about people, learn how to talk a little bit more, and be a little bit more comfortable. Always use the promo code BACON. Again, to get 10% off your order, they got cool swag too.
Indeed. And last but not least, of course, always frame the balls.
Yes.
Is that what you do? Frame the balls.
Frame the balls?
Well,
You could frame the balls.
You could, though. You could. But if you got a bush, it's just not. It's the summer.
Get rid of it.
Get rid of it.
Yeah.
Use the Lawnmower 4.0. Use the perfect package and go to manscaped.com. Use the promo code BACONPOD. You get 20% off your order. And they've got all sorts of great stuff if you're a guy who's looking to feel so fresh and so clean.
Indeed. And not only do you get 20% off, but you also get free shipping.
Free shipping?
Shine up those balls. Get rid of that bush. Clean yourself up. And if you don't
Indeed.
clean yourself up, start.
Yeah.
Bacon Pod, 20% off, free shipping. Check it out. Thank you to our sponsors. Thanks for hanging out. What's your bacon?
Hi, my name is Patty Negri. I am a psychic, medium, and good witch. And I am consuming Bacon is my podcast.
Yeah, I know that there are there's a bunch of different workshops you can do and online workshops and stuff like that. We've looked into it and stuff.
Well, that's my question. Is so if it's because it's such a thing where you have an openness to it and you have a connection to it, and that connection is developed as you grow and as you experience things. It's interesting to me to think okay, so there's
I could take
a class in that, but that also sets off my oh, that's bullshit. That's an easy way. That's an easy way to bullshit people. So what are some real methods that people can use, or
I think
if you're going into a situation where you're I'm going to pay this person to show me how to be more open to paranormal things. How do you know that that's?
I think that a lot of our, especially for you and I feel like a lot of our you can take a class to do this successfully.
Right.
Being musicians, how many of those have we done?
Right. How many of those have we been ripped off at?
Cool. You could be great at being a musician if you just do this, and you're cool, here's my money, and then we leave and we have less than we came in with.
Right. You leave with less money.
I do think that there are hey, listen, music is one thing. Marketing classes, you take things away from marketing classes. There are classes you take things away from. I do think that if you're tapped into something and you feel me personally, I don't know if I would get anything out of those classes because I've been called a little bit of a spiritual idiot in the past. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. But
I almost feel like most kids are gifted. You notice that how kids always see ghosts.
Oh, my kids all the time.
See, and I feel like at some point that kind of gets shut off. So I wonder if in classes there's some way that you can revert back in your mind. And I
think that has a lot to do with it because like you said, kids are more in tune with it, and
it hasn't been taught out of them yet.
Right.
Beaten out of them.
Right.
So it's can you reteach it?
Yeah, our generation, it was kind of no. But
Right.
like with my kids, they do see things, and Gavin's drawn things, and I've sent them to Patty, and like, hey, is he seeing shit?
What does he draw? What is he seeing?
Oh, he sees like glowing, like little glowing flames and ball things and stuff. Yeah,
Like orbs, almost.
almost like orbs, but like more like almost like little quick flames when he closes his eyes, and it's something. It's something within him, but we're absolutely not trying to close him off on it.
Yeah.
Whereas like he's like, I'm scared of it, and we're like, don't be scared of it. There's nothing threatening in this house. Like, you can open up to it, because like we've done the research, we figured it out. Like, whereas when I was a kid, it's like, man, I'm scared of this, and they're like, just go to bed.
Yeah.
Just relax and go to bed. Like,
And it's like
get out of here.
when kids have like
it's
imaginary
not real.
friends.
Yeah,
Like-
Right.
It's
Right.
not real. Stop being silly. That kind of stuff gets
Right.
beaten into you. Like, you're making it up. It's fantasy. It's because you read too many books or watched this show or something like that. So it's explained away. So as you grow up, you start to, like, those explanations kind of build up, and you're kind of like, oh, I saw this because I watched that show that day, and something happened in my brain, and I created it. So you create this ball around you of explaining everything away, and then you close yourself off to experience, because you're immediately being like, as soon as you start to have one, you're like, this isn't real, because it's you explain it away before you give it a chance to do anything.
Yeah.
So maybe it has something to do with kind of like opening you more up to that.
I think meditations, like things like that, those kind of exercises probably kind of clearing your mind.
Yeah, we give him this fun guided meditation every evening. That's what he sleeps to. It's the Enchanted Forest with Eeny, Meeny, Miny, and Mo.
That sounds fun.
It's on Spotify.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
It's pretty.
I might try that tonight.
Yeah,
It's legit. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. So when you go out on investigations, people worry about attachments and things like that. You have haunted things in your house and stuff, but do you have any uninvited guests in your house right now?
I think I do right now. So I recently did a story time episode, and it was supposed to be about me introducing Shelly. It's like a full 25-minute episode I have up on YouTube, but I was trying to communicate with her. I introduced her, told her backstory, and then I pulled out the spirit box. I had equipment set up, and a man kept coming through, like on the spirit box. And then I was trying to explain to the audience how I've seen a man in here before, and anytime I've used a spirit box in my house, a man always comes through. Like, he won't let anyone else talk. And as soon as I mentioned the man, the REM pod next to me, the little thing with the antenna, if you touch it, it beeps really loud. That started going crazy. And it was there the whole time I was filming. It didn't go off once until I mentioned the man. And then all of the equipment started going off, and then everything started getting really crazy. So I was kind of like, okay, I'm going to shut this down now. We're done here. Because I didn't expect that. That's not what the episode was even supposed to be about. So yeah, there's apparently a man here. And I asked the question if I brought him home from a haunted location, and he said yes. It was like a clear yes that came through, but he didn't tell me where or what his name was. So that's all the information I got so far.
That's that.
We're still to be determined on that one.
It out. Like recently, we don't have a lot of friends that are like into the paranormal stuff. Like, we have a few, but more recently, a friend's girlfriend is very into it and stuff. We invited her over for a party, and last night, or no, 2 nights ago. Yeah, no, last night. She was like, oh yeah, no, there's somebody in your house. Like, so we bought this house. Jen was like, it's completely clear of any kind of stuff. And that's what attracted me to it most. But this girl's like, no, somebody has come in here. And like I haven't gone on investigations or anything. So like
Right.
but
It could be from anywhere though. It could be like
Yeah.
that haunted bar you went to, or like really like literally anywhere, a hotel
Right.
room, or
yeah, I don't know.
I feel
It's kind
energy
of-
almost everywhere I go, even if it's not like bad. Sometimes it's good energy, sometimes it's neutral, but almost everywhere I go, and it's like gotten more intense over the years. Like it's hard to stay at most hotels because I go in there and I just feel all the energy of like different people that have been there, or it's strange.
Well, yeah, it's just basically an energy factory at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
so many different people.
So
But
what
yeah,
what was it for you that made you like? So there's a step that you take at some point from I'm experiencing these things, I'm doing these things, I'm interested in these things. And then there's the step that's made to be like, okay, I'm going to make this into kind of like my thing. I'm going to make a YouTube page. I'm going to make a TikTok. I'm going to create this. I'm going to make also make a business out of this. I'm going to try and I'm going to try and monetize this experience and share it with people as well. What was it that kind of like made you kind of make that switch and kind of bring it over and be like, this is what I'm going to kind of do for myself?
That started like after I had moved to Vegas. So I've always like explored haunted places, but it was just for my own like enjoyment more so than like filming. And this was before I used like equipment. I just went in like intuitively just for the experience. So Long Island, I don't know if you're familiar with like Kings Park and like Pilgrim State, the haunted abandoned asylum. So growing up,
we're in bands, so every band has done a photo shoot.
Yes, yes. So yeah, those places are freaking haunted though, and I would go into there at night growing up. My friend had an extremely haunted house growing up that was in Riverhead, and there was a graveyard next door where the family was buried that all died in that house. So we would do seances and stuff like that. So that was prior to me moving to Vegas. After I moved to Vegas, there's just like a lot of cool local spots, and I'm like, let me just start recording my experience. And I kind of got the idea just from watching like ghost shows on TV. And I was like, I feel like I could do this. So I just kind of, started slowly getting equipment and getting like acquainted with those and seeing how they worked. And then also trying to combine it with like my usual like intuitive method. So yeah, that's been going for quite a few years now. But I kind of like neglected it for a while. And then more recently, I'm like, okay, I'm going to start really pushing this and being consistent.
That's awesome. That's awesome. You do a lot of stuff. You are a social media influencer. You're also a realtor.
Yes, I am.
And you are a hockey player. Like,
yes.
A legit hockey player.
Yeah.
So like, so you do all those things. You do hockey, I'm assuming at a relatively high level, right? Like,
I'm on a league here. It's a lower league because I don't want to like get so physical that I'm like, because I'm playing for fun. But I do tournaments, so I travel sometimes. I was just in Long Beach for a 3-day tournament over there, and that was really rough. I got pretty injured, so I'm still playing right now, but I had to like be careful because I got a skate to my elbow and it like sliced me open. Yeah. Like someone essentially like skated on my elbow. So yeah, I was leaking out blood everywhere. It was pretty. They said I needed stitches, but I was like, I don't want to go to the hospital, so I just like wrapped it up.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Ice and stretch.
What? So like you do all these things. What is that thing? What is that bacon in your life that you like?
Yeah. What's your escape?
What's your escape from all that stuff?
That's the paranormal for sure. 100%. That's what that is for me. Like I would love to make it into like a full-time job, but even just doing it for no money, like I love doing that. And it's just like part of my personality now. Like that's just so me. Like I can't ever picture not going to haunted places. And because I feel the energy, like I said before, like it's just part of my life now. And I like truly enjoy doing it. Like I love traveling to other states. And like the second I get to a haunted location, it's just like a kid in Disneyland. Like it's just so much fun to me.
One thing I wanted to I was always wondering because, Jen and I, we talked about doing like trips and doing paranormal things and stuff like that. And you watch all these shows and it's like, well, this person kept this open for paranormal experiences. And it's like, okay, so then how do they keep it open? I was like, because they fucking charge people. Like,
Yeah, a lot.
so what does like the average location cost, and like how do you usually deal with it? Do you do like like a situation where you pool it with a bunch of other people?
A lot of people do
different-
that. Yeah, a lot of people do like try to split it because most like large locations, like if you're not talking about just like a hotel room or something, like for example, like Goldfield Schoolhouse, something like that is $500 a night. I know that some of the bigger influencers sometimes they don't charge them. Like,
Right, it's
it
all a matter
depends.
of- yeah.
But I would say like even like when I did Goldfield Hotel, it was I think they were trying to charge us like $1,200. I split it with one other team of 2 guys. I think we got it for like $800 in the end, but it's so much money. I was like, it's crazy. Yeah. It's like you got to have a budget for it, I guess. I just pay out of my own pocket because I enjoy the experience. But recently, I made my merch, which I told everyone like anything they purchase, like all that money goes right back into my filming, like location fees or anything else I spend money on for that, which helps. But yeah, places be taxing. It's crazy. And like, I mean, I guess they got to stay open, but how much rent do they have to pay for like an old schoolhouse? You know,
Right.
I don't think not that much.
That's something that people might not realize too. That like watch and they see
Well,
these
it's
things, they're
maintenance
just
and
like
shit like that.
right.
you know?
But people that are watching probably think that like, oh, it's a haunted place, so you just go and you go to this haunted place.
No,
It's like no, people market those.
people own it and they go,
someone
hey,
owns it and they go, oh, someone wants to come here. If you want to come here, then that means that you'll pay to come here.
guess what? A bunch of shitty things happened here.
Right.
I've
Come
been trying to
hang
do
out.
more like abandoned places because those are obviously free, but you're taking the risk of like if it's private property or something. But I mean, I did an abandoned house in California recently, and it's scary because you don't have that security knowing that it's just yours for the night. So some man like pulled up on us and like got out of his truck, and it was like I thought I was gonna die. It was very scary. So I'm like, I'll pay the $500 for a secure location.
How do you vet these places to make sure that it's not just somebody trying to make money off you? You know what I mean? Like, how do you like if someone's going to go visit
like a pretend, like if they pretend it's haunted,
right? Like how much? I guess like you could do.
Yeah, I mean,
any building that's old enough, if you research it, some dumb shit went down there. You know what I mean? Like like no matter where it is, if it's been around long enough, something horrible happened there because that's just the nature of the world, you know. So there's only so much research that you can do on that side of it. How do you know when you're like, this is a location that I want to go to? Do you base it off of like lore, or do you base it off of like other people going? How do you make sure that you're not kind of like being taken by some owner that's just like, oh yeah, some shit happened here?
Yeah, a bit of both. Like, if somebody that I know and trust that like their content is real, not faked, like if they've been there and had a cool experience, and I'll be like, okay, cool. Sometimes you're just taking that risk, and it's been proven that a lot of like these big haunted moneymaker places are faking things, like even putting infrasound that no one would ever know if they did that. I don't know if you know what infrasound is, but yeah, essentially a noise that they can run through the place that you cannot hear with your ears, but it gives you anxiety. It can make you hallucinate. It does all that crazy stuff to you, and you think you're having a paranormal experience when really it's just infrasound being pumped into the place.
Yeah, there's certain frequencies that you can play that are going to give people certain feelings, and also certain things that'll show up on some of your equipment then.
Yeah, like
you can't audibly know. Like, so what's your process for researching a place to know that that's not going to happen, or is it just kind of like
you kind of just have to go? Yeah, I've been to places though hoping that I've had an experience, and traveled far. Like I traveled to like Florida. I was going there anyway, but I went to a whole different part of Florida to film somewhere, and I just didn't have any experiences. So I'm like, I'm not going to fake something. I'm just taking an L for the night and not making an episode out of it. But that happens, and that's okay. But yeah, for the places that it's money makers, that's a hard one to really judge. I feel like I'm good at that just because intuitively I can walk into a building and know right away, for the most part, if it's haunted or not, just by the feeling I'm getting. So,
Right.
but not everybody has that tool on them. So,
Yeah, so do your research on places, people. You never know. You never know.
yeah. I like looking at the backstories though. I love locations with like a really crazy backstory. That's my favorite.
Is there a holy grail place that you want to visit that's like your
Ooh.
top of the list?
I have so many places on my list, but yeah, I've been wanting to go to the Texas Hill House or
Hill
the
House,
Axe
yeah,
Murder
yeah.
House, or the Villisca Axe Murder House is really up there on my list. I'm surprised I haven't been there yet. It's like, a really big hot spot. Even big paranormal people like on shows that I know have said like that place is 100% legit. It's scary.
Right.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, speaking of awesome,
How was your pee? People that aren't
Great.
watching didn't see you leave, but we all saw you leave because he had to pee.
I had to pee.
He muted it and told me like I have to pee, and I was like, all right, go for it.
Cool. I'm gonna keep that incognito, but he never does. He never ever.
You had to announce it.
It happens. I'm used to it now. So speaking of awesome, awesome is one of our sponsors.
Yes.
We have a sponsor called Poddex, and what Poddex is for budding podcasters, for people who need to break the ice, people without verbal diarrhea like we have.
Indeed.
And they make these decks, and within each deck has 50 cards. Within each card is a question. Why are you laughing?
No, please go on.
He's such an asshole.
It's riveting. I just like
so
hearing
what we
you
like to
explain
do,
it. I
what we
hearing
like
you
to
explain
do is have our guests pick a deck and then a random question from the deck. So the decks you can choose from are the episode deck 2. I'm sorry, interview deck
it. I
2.
was like, what happened?
Episode deck, the would you rather, what the heck, what the fuck, and how dare you?
Indeed.
You threw me off. You're such an asshole.
I'm watching you read them.
No, I didn't know. I was trying not to read them. I was trying not to. That's why I said episode.
All right.
So which one, Lindsay, which one would you like to pick?
What was it out of 3? There was 3 different decks.
No. There's 7.
Oh, that
There's
was a lot.
the
What was
okay,
the
so
last
there's-
one that you said? The
He's
very
holding
last
6.
how dare you?
one. That one.
That's the one.
All right, that's the one. So, I will let you know that the How Dare You deck, as well as the other decks, it really goes from either G rating to what the fuck did you just say to me? And that's it. So it could be either
I'm
of
ready.
those things. It could be either of those things.
We'll see.
I will also tell people within the sound of my voice that you can go to poddex.com to check out these decks as well as many others. They also have an app. They also have some cool swag that won't make your nipples itch.
Yes.
They are nice soft t-shirts.
Soft teas.
Right?
That's what it's all about.
I've said before, I know, Jonathan, in your car right now, you went to a concert 2 weeks ago and you bought a t-shirt out in the front from some dude that had it in a backpack, and that shirt tore up your nipples and it shrank 3 sizes when you washed it once. They will not do that.
Nope.
They will not do that. They're nice and soft. Check them out, poddex.com. If you decide to buy anything from there, please use the promo code BACON,
Because everything's better with bacon.
and you will get 10% off your entire order.
Yes.
All right.
All right, here we go. I am going to fan these out.
I will use the finger of power. I am going from my left to my right, your right to your left. You tell me when to stop, and that will be your question.
Stop.
Stopping right here. All right. Okay. Lindsay, have you ever gone out without wearing a bra and underwear?
Oh yeah, all the time.
All right.
I'm wearing them right now though, so
Oh, okay. Well,
I was trying to be
before-
professional.
Well, you see how professional we are.
for the audio podcast.
Yeah. It's funny because now Jen will go we'll go in the backyard and she's like, oh shit, Jimmy's coming. I gotta go put a bra on. I'm like, you think he you've known him for
Breathe
how
in
many
it.
years?
We
doesn't
said that
matter.
earlier.
You know, like free the nips.
Yeah, free the nips.
I
It's
won't
fine.
even notice until I hug her, and then when I hug her, I'll make it apparent. I'll be like, "You ain't wearing a bra, Jen."
Well, you do that.
I'll do that.
He does that.
I'll do that.
He absolutely does.
I will do that.
It's fine.
And you know what? I'll be like, "Me either.
Well, you,
Me either. We're
you're
hanging
not,
out."
you're not wearing the man's ear?
I'm not wearing the
today?
man's ear.
Oh,
I'm not
okay.
wearing the man's ear.
All right.
I do have undies on today.
Oh, well, yeah, you got your Manscaped
I got my
undies
Manscaped
with the jewel
undies on
pouch.
today with the jewel pouch.
Yeah,
Yes,
so that's
super
fantastic.
important. Super important, fellas. Shave the beans. Shave the beans. Manscaped.
Yes.
Bacon
also have
pod,
the weed
20% off.
Weed whacker. Trim nose hairs.
Indeed.
so-
Both of those things need to be trimmed.
Indeed. So you're from Long Island. So which is awesome. Like I had no idea.
Is it awesome?
Oh, okay, it's not. You ran
She
away.
also left Long Island. Which
You
is
left
awesome.
Long Island, which is awesome.
I don't miss
You
it.
escaped.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would.
You escaped. So
I wouldn't either.
But like, what were some of the places that you would go to do paranormal stuff?
Long Island area.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. My main one was Kings Park a lot. I got in trouble a lot from going there because security got real crazy with breaking in. But I also had like a terrifying experience there, and then I kind of didn't want to go back because my friends went to boost me through a window there, and because I'm like the smallest one, I'm very short, so they're like, "Okay, we'll just boost you in, it'll be fine." And I was almost in the window, and then there must have been like a homeless person or someone trying to scare people in there, and they started either a I don't know if it was a leaf blower or a chainsaw because in a building it sounds very similar. It was one of the two though, and it started up. And I fell out of the window so fast. We ran like crying. And I don't think I went back after that. I think that was like one of the last times I went there because I was like, did I almost die? Like it was so scary, but that place is fun.
That would turn me off also.
Yeah. But yeah, there, Pilgrim State. Montauk has a lot of cool places, but when I lived there, I was like pretty young when I was doing this, and I was like, I'm not going to drive all the way out to Montauk by myself. But that's like what Stranger Things is loosely based on, is that area in Montauk.
Yep.
There's Pilgrim State, which is similar to Kings Park. I would go there a lot. And then, like I said before, the haunted house that my friend had growing up, that place was insanely haunted. So I would like want to sleep there all the time. I was super excited about it.
What town? Just out of curiosity, what town was that?
Riverhead.
Oh, okay. So it was in Riverhead.
Yeah.
Like, was there like some kind of historical like
a back
importance
story
about it, or
so it was like in like the book like registry of like, you know, historical places that they can't tear down. So the house was that old that it was like in one of those books. Like I've looked it up recently to see if it was like still there, just to make sure. It's always been my dream to go back there and actually like investigate that house, but I'm pretty sure other people live there, and it would be weird if I just knocked on their door and was like, "Hey, is there ghosts in there still?" or whatever. But yeah,
anything weird happened?
I bet they do. They have to, because that place was insane. But an entire family lived and died in that house. It was like a parent and like maybe 2 or 3 kids or some amount of kids. And like I said, they were all buried in the cemetery, which is right next door. I believe their last name was like Harrison or something, if I remember correctly. But yeah, it would just be like that family. And like even my friend's dad would say like he would see the kids in the middle of the night, and they would like pull the blanket off of him. I saw like full body apparitions in there. I guess it was just the family haunting it. That was like the main backstory. But her dad would always tell us, do not leave the attic light on. It was like something out of a horror movie, but he would always tell us that. And he was like dead serious about it. And he was like a scary, like kind of big biker guy. And he was like, don't leave the attic light on. And one day he was gone. And of course we're like, let's go leave the attic light on and see what happens.
Yeah.
So, yeah, of course we had to. So we put the attic light on and we went in her room. It was me, her, and one other friend, and we decided to have a seance. So we put a candle in the middle of us. It was just like a Bath and Body Works candle, just a normal one in the middle. And we start like having our little seance, and midway the candle literally exploded. And that is still to this day one of the craziest things that has ever happened in front of my eyes. It literally like shattered into a bunch of pieces, and like the flame kind of fell on the floor, so like a little mini fire started on the carpet. So we had to put that out, and we ran out of the house like crying. And then her dad came home, and of course he found out what we did because we didn't want to go turn the attic light back off. So we got in some trouble there. But yeah, that place was always a trip. So I would try to go there a lot. And like I would like love it, but then I would end up like crying and scared at the end of the night. But then I'd want to go back for more, which is still like how I am now. So
Right. What is your like creme de la creme when it comes to paranormal evidence that you've captured yourself?
one off the top of my head that stands out is a more recent one when I stayed at the Garnett House in Kansas, the 1858 House Hotel. That was still the most haunted place I've ever been to. Before going there, I've never physically seen something like move in front of my eyes. I thought that was just like in movies. I feel like things have moved, but it's always like in the other room and you're like, I didn't see it. So how did that happen? But all night dolls were getting thrown off shelves. Things were moving like on cue. And in that episode, I have like a lot of footage like that of things like physically moving. And one of them is when I was going to go to sleep in the room upstairs with the attic hole in the ceiling. No one's ever slept up there before. So I was like, of course I'm going to sleep in there. So yeah, I tried to sleep, and the owner was there, which is a good friend of mine. He was actually on the show Ghost Adventures. He's the tech guy for them. And he was saying goodnight to me. And as soon as he went to walk away, a ball launches itself out of the attic hole, like towards him. And I was just like in disbelief. I was like, there's no way. Like, how did that just happen? Like, it just made no sense to me. But I caught it on camera. I have the clip on my Instagram and TikTok of that. And then in the actual episode, there's another camera angle so you can see it a little better. That's on Paraflix. But yeah, that was really crazy. And I was so glad I was recording. I knew something was going to happen. That's why I put cameras in the room when I was sleeping. So that was a crazy capture.
It's so funny. Like I love watching that kind of stuff happen because people go, oh yeah, well it could be done with trick strings and this and that, and it's just like,
oh yeah, people always say it's fake.
Watch you can watch certain things, like you don't just yank something with a string, like you can see where the force is coming from when you watch something get opened or when you watch something fall over, and it's like, no, that wasn't pulled with a string. That was
some things look
punched.
Different. Things look different when they're pulled than when they're pushed.
Yeah,
or
it's
punched.
hard because like we could have obviously like had someone in the attic that did it, but
Right.
I mean, all that matters is what I was there and I experienced it. And like, if
Yeah.
people believe it, they believe it. If they don't, they don't. Because I put it on TikTok and a lot of people are like, "Oh, that is so fake," and I'm like, that's even scarier because it really wasn't. I'm like, I really was there, and it's terrifying.
Like, all right, you can think it's fake all you want.
Yeah,
I noticed you have a tattoo on the palm of your hand.
yeah, I do.
Is that
It was not-
Is that a planchette? Is that a
No,
What is that?
I have fuzz all over my hand, but it was not professionally done. It's like a triangle with an eye, and
Okay, I gotcha.
that's what it's supposed to be. It was when I first moved to Vegas. I was like 21, and I was drunk at a party, and somebody had a tattoo machine that shouldn't have, obviously, and everybody started tattooing each other, and I was part of that, and that's what happened, and it hurt so bad. I recently tried to get it touched up.
How bad did that suck? Getting it on the palm of your hand.
I was
Yeah.
like screaming, and I was so drunk, and I still felt it, which means like
Yeah.
it would have been
Which
so
means
much
it's awful.
worse. Yeah, and I
Right.
can't believe it stayed in there. Usually palm tattoos come out, but this is like over 7 years old now, and it's still there.
Is that the most painful?
Ooh, no, I have. Trying to think of what the most painful one. That's up there. I have
Yeah.
like my whole crotch tattoo though. That was pretty bad.
Okay.
I got that when I was like 18, so that's
I
tied
can imagine
with the
that's a bad
palm.
one, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like my most painful is like inner arm, like
That
right
hurts too.
in
Yeah.
here, really
Yeah, like-
sucked.
Up in here,
Yeah,
it felt like it was like
just
in my
in the-
armpit. Yeah.
Yeah, right in there. Like you feel it in your armpit, even though they're down on your arm, and you're like, "What are you doing? Why
Yeah.
is that happening?"
Tattoo
Well, it's the
removal
same with the
hurts worse
here.
though.
I've
Oh,
heard.
really? Okay.
I've heard that's way worse.
Yeah,
That
I had a
sucks.
friend that got he had a whole sleeve removed because he joined the military,
Fuck that.
and so he
Ooh.
literally had his whole sleeve removed, and I was like, why? What are you doing?
So your arm looks sweet, like a full scar.
No, it actually looks
It should
great.
scar.
It
really?
looks great.
Right.
It's not scarred. Yeah, it looks great.
So we had an ex bandmate get like a neck tattoo removed, and and
Ooh.
it was
Nothing says I don't want a job like a neck tattoo.
Ooh, well, no, you know what he did? He was removing it to get a different neck tattoo.
Oh.
Yeah,
What was the
and
original one?
Yeah.
it was like a pistol, like a handgun of some sort.
Oh. Yeah.
I forgot
weird
what
one.
it was.
Yeah,
It was fucking
It's
weird.
a weird neck tattoo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have one on the
He's
back
no
of
longer
my
in the
neck,
bed.
but I didn't feel it.
How
Like
is-
on the back of the neck, it's super easy, I guess. 'cause
Yeah,
I got
that's
one
easy.
in Salem. It didn't feel it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I know a couple people that have the back of their neck and a couple people that have right behind their ear, and they said that it wasn't bad at all.
Yeah, I didn't.
Um,
It just felt like something was vibrating. It didn't actually feel like it was like a needle at all.
Right. Okay.
This one, the
I wonder if
chili
you can't-
pepper one.
It's because you can't see it.
I
maybe.
thought he was crossing my nipple. I absolutely thought it. Like I was like, oh my god, you're going too far. He's like, no, I'm not. I'm like, you're not.
You
I'm
should have got
sorry.
it pierced too while you were at it.
Yeah.
Just-
While it was
Well,
happening.
Oh, you know what? That's a good idea. Except for I can't now.
Dude, if you get your nipple pierced, I'll pay for it. We'll film it.
That's
It'll be great.
nice.
It'll be great.
That's nice. Yeah, exactly. That's nice.
Yeah.
I will not. No thanks.
Come on, let's do it.
I do a lot of things. But,
Yeah.
You know, like I'll eat hot shit like that.
Well, yeah.
I love eating hot stuff, like the one chip
really?
challenge. Yeah,
Go
Well,
grab it.
We're
We've
about
got-
to do.
we've
we're about
got-
to do the one chip.
We've got the
You didn't do it
2022
yet?
version.
We got the new one.
No, we got the new
the
version.
new version.
what's the difference? Because I did the old one.
This
I
one
don't
does
know.
something where it turns your tongue blue because there's some kind
So,
of
yeah,
blue pepper.
It's the
of some
same shit,
sort.
but it turns your tongue blue.
That's not. Yeah, the other one was like black though. Like I remember,
Yes.
like the
Yeah.
powder on it was like black, and that's like what really stays in your mouth, and like you can't get it out. It was horrible.
We do that all the time.
Maybe,
know what?
You might have
Well,
to do a
when you come out to the island, or if we come out to Vegas,
we might have
Mhm.
to do a
we'll do a hot
food thing.
food thing because we do that all the time. We abuse ourselves. It's awful.
Yes, we do it for our Patreon.
We've eaten 9 Scoville unit gummy bears.
Yeah.
I did the gummy bear. That one was cool.
Little
Yeah.
nitro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did that. That was wow, that hurt.
I was doing jumping jacks. I was like, I have to do calisthenics back here. I have to move.
I'll send you the video. It was a lot of fun.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, the gummy bear
He
is cool.
deadpans everything. He deadpans everything and has no reaction, which is great because I look like I'm dying, and he's like, yeah, whatever, and I'm like,
I
looking at him,
love
I'm like,
hot
"You
food.
liar."
Yeah, I love spicy. Like everything for me that I feel like I've like burnt my taste buds because like I need spice and everything to even like taste it at this point. But there's a new challenge here in Vegas. It's at one of the hot chicken places. I think it's I don't know, one of the Texas ones. It's really good, but they have like a challenge there. If you eat, I think you have to eat 5 of the strips with the hottest sauce, then you get $500. But I'm like, I can't even eat that much chicken. Like I had like 2 pieces of chicken, I'm full. So I'm like,
Right,
I
right.
don't. Yeah, but it's apparently like it's not possible at all.
I got
It's too
this. I got this.
I'll try it.
I would
Yeah,
try it. I would want to
I'll
just try it just to taste it, but I can't eat 5 pieces of chicken. I wish they did like $100 for 1 piece, 200 for 2. Because I
Right,
could do
right.
like 2.
Well, it depends on how big the pieces of chicken are. Like if
Right,
it's
if
like
it's a
if it's like
standard-
fried
It's probably
chicken
like a
pieces,
yeah, like a
I
chicken
can't eat.
tender.
No, it's probably like a chicken
Yeah.
tender.
If it's a chicken tender, I can eat 5 chicken tenders.
Yeah.
I can't eat 5 like pieces of chicken.
No.
Like if you're like, here's a breast, a wing, a leg, and a
Oh,
thigh.
not
and
that big.
Like,
No.
No.
no way. Can I do
Relax your pants there, buddy.
that. Right.
I'm not.
But
gonna,
if it's like 5 chicken tenders, I mean, it'll
I can handle
suck.
that.
It'll suck, but I can do it.
Well, you guys will have to come to Vegas and we'll have to try that.
I'm in.
Absolutely.
I'm
Let's
in.
do it. Let's do it.
So we will definitely do that. And yeah, again, when you come to Long Island, if you come visit, I know it's
I'll be there
Nothing
in
appeal-
December.
Oh,
sweet.
cool. Let's hit us up.
Hit us up.
Let's go out for some hot food, and we'll maybe get questionable tattoos.
Yeah, my
Yeah,
palm's
I'll-
free.
Oh, good luck. Yeah, I tried to
No, I
get
have
more
a-
on my palm, like
questionable
professionally, but it didn't stick. I was trying to get the whole palmistry map, and there's like
Okay.
a little remnants of like something there, but it didn't
yeah.
stick in, so I have to try it again. I think the needle was
Oh.
too small that she was using, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we want to get the like the break apart ice pops.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We want to get. We want to get.
We're two
those,
halves of a
like,
popsicle.
yeah, 2 halves of a popsicle.
That's cool. That's
Yeah,
cool. But
we're
yeah,
gonna get
I'll be Long Island, and I think it's like December 4th. It's for like a baby shower, so I'll definitely be there. So we can plan around those dates and do something.
Hit us up. Let
Hit
us
us
know. We'll film something and we'll eat some hot things. We'll do some dumb shit and it'll be great.
And then when you guys
Have
come
some
to Vegas, I'll bring you to a haunted place here.
Oh, please.
Yes.
That would be amazing. Yes.
We're so in for sure. So without further ado, can you just let everybody know where they can find everything Lindsey Paranormal?
Yes.
Yeah, so on my website, lindseyparanormal.com, you can find my merch there and some of my social medias, but you can find everything on my Instagram, which is just Lindsey Paranormal. I have the link tree in my bio that has my YouTube, which is all my full-length episodes. I have one premiering today, actually. I know this will be in the future, but every Friday or Saturday, I try to release a new YouTube episode. So definitely find me on there. That's youtube.com/Third Eye Paranormal. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Awesome. And if you're moving to Vegas, she's also a realtor, so hit her up.
Yes.
I'll sell you a haunted house.
I might be moving to Vegas, so I might
Let
hit
me
you
know.
up.
Sounds
There you
good.
go.
Yeah.
Fucking A. So, without further, I did that before.
Yeah. So without
Further
without-
ado.
So further
without
ado,
further ado,
what is that thing? What is that question that we? So we said there was going to be a test, right?
Right.
Yeah.
There was a test. What's that thing?
There was a
What's that,
question.
like super important
About the thing that makes
about
your
the
life
thing that makes your
better.
life better.
It's the metaphor that makes everything more enjoyable.
Metaphor
in
is
life.
a big word.
Metaphor
I like
is a
that.
big word.
I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
What is that
3
question,
syllables.
Lindsay? Do you remember that question?
The what is your bacon?
Oh, she got it. There it is. What's your bacon?
What's your bacon? It's not.
And we're back.
It's not fair.
It's so back. It's so fine. You know what? Take over editing.
Nah, I'm alright.
Now, I win. I always win.
You always win.
So we want to thank those of you who've stayed all the way to the end. We want to thank those of you who are on Bacon is My Podcast Patreon.
Yes.
So the patreon.com/Bacon is My Podcast. You can get these episodes.
You keep the shit running.
Episode early, episode without commercials.
Yep. No ads.
Super duper fun. Thank you guys. And then we get like extra shit. We get like tastings and
cooking, random shit. Yeah.
all of the things.
Live
So thank you
streams, all
guys.
that
Thank you
stuff.
guys so much for all of your support. Thank you to everybody who's been giving us 5-star reviews and who's
You
been
rule.
giving us the likes and the subscribes and all the things. 5-star
tell you,
reviews help.
right
We've got
now-
like quite a few on the Spotify, and
Yes.
I was very
I have not
surprised.
seen one positive enough or negative enough that I want to read them on the air yet. You guys got to be more creative.
Yes, yeah. Well, no, I did see a negative one, but they just left 1 star and didn't
Right,
leave
it
any
didn't say anything.
comments.
Yeah, I didn't say anything. Comment.
Stop being a pussy.
Yeah, if it's just 1 star, back that shit up.
Yeah.
Back that shit. You,
Tell
go,
us
you
why.
know you know why you got 1 star? Because I don't want to hear Jimmy's dumbass fucking concert story about his bag. I don't
Yeah,
wanna
it was
hear
long. It was long.
I don't want to hear it.
It was super long.
Right? That's fine.
Super long.
That's fine. Let me know.
Yeah.
Let me know.
But where can they find the things with the Canucks and the
Oh,
and
check
the
it out.
bags?
Check it out on my
All the things.
on my spots. My spots are Jimmy G Shoes on all the socials. My band is Craving Strange, cravingstrange.net, where you will find links to all the socials and all the music and all the stuff. You can find all videos and things like that over on Strangerhood TV, where you can also find Bacon is My Podcast, as well as episodes of me and you doing cover songs and all that kind of weird stuff.
Yeah.
And anything that either of us put out as well.
Yeah,
Strangerhoodtv.com.
including Bacon's My Passion,
Including Bacon is My Passion.
which is on all streaming platforms.
It
It's
is.
our musical conglomerate,
Let us know if you hate it
if you will.
or if
yeah.
you like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to hear some shit.
Yeah. Like
Be
tell us.
louder, guys. Be louder.
Be much louder. You can find me personally. Thanks for asking.
I was about to, but you jumped the gun.
Nah, it's fine. At me, my own self.
Where can they
Mike.
find you?
You can find me at me, my own self. Mike on all streaming, all social media. Yeah, you can find me and myself
Where can
on
they find
streaming
you?
platforms. Me personally, you can find on at me by myself, Mike, on all streaming platforms.
Streaming platforms?
No, it's not. Yeah. Ugh.
Where can they find you? Where can they find you, buddy?
Son of a bitch.
They can find Mike at Me My Own Self over
Mike.
on all the socials. Me My Own
Yes.
Self Mike on all the socials. You can also find Something Heavy at Something Heavy Music
Yes.
on all the socials, and you can find Something Heavy on all streaming platforms.
Yes.
Check them out. You can find them and save them and follow them just like you can. Bacon is my passion, and just like you can, bacon is my podcast.
New single from Something Heavy, Learning.
Learning is out now. Is it out now?
Should be.
Learning is out now.
Should fucking be.
Check it out. Let them know if you like it. Let them know if you hate it. Be louder, people. We want to hear you. We
And
want
where?
to know
Wait.
you.
How can we hear them? Using the hashtags.
What's your bacon? Bacon is my podcast. Bacon is my pod.
Yes. And always.
Or add us at Bacon is my pod.
Yes. Always at us. Always at us.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Those things. Without.
What's your bacon?
Yeah. Let's do it. What's your bacon?
Well, peace.